Okay, second try. Somebody called me in the middle of the last one and ruined the whole thing. So that's cool. But here we have Agent Anti-Venom, part of the Magic the Gathering collab with Marvel Legends. And as you can see, I folded. I said I wasn't going to get this one out of the 4 of them, but here we are. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to throw this work phone way across the house. But yeah, here we have them. Part of the Magic the Gathering collab. Boom, boom. Exclusive collectible card there. Anti-Venom in a picture on the side. Bigger picture on the side. Got Magic the Gathering up there. Spider-Man. Legalese. And then the other 4. Man-Wolf, which is the one I want the most. Mary Jane Watson Iron Spider, which that one's still kind of a maybe. But I do like that there's 4 Waldos on this one rather than the 3 on the previous regular Iron Spider-Man, Jesus. Is 3 accurate to the comic? I always thought there was 4, but maybe 3 was accurate to Peter Parker. And then we have a Battle Damaged Spider-Man there, which I have previously reviewed. And as you can see, everything is here. I mentioned in the last video of Battle Damaged, I opened these like a man-child as soon as I get to the car, and I had lost all the accessories. I just had the figure after I lost everything. So, but I said I'm going to start saving these to open on camera, and as a plus, you guys get to see that, but I also don't lose anything. Although, I guess there's still the possibility I could lose stuff, because that happens, but whatever. I will be honest, I had already taken it out. I didn't take anything out of the plastic in there, but I pulled it out, and that's when I got a call. So it technically is shoved back in there, but yeah. So we're gonna get into it. There we go. So here we have Agent Venom, Anti-Venom. We previously got the normal black one, which was an upgrade from that original one. I cannot remember for the life of me what wave that was in, but I remember it was relatively recent. But here we have him. We see he comes with a fist. He's got 2 trigger fingers on the hand there, 2 kind of claw hands. He comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate guns, which is awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are like pretty cheap looking blue plastic. I will probably paint those because I don't like that. But and then it also has the blast effects, the smaller ones, as well as kind of like the smoke cool down stuff there. He comes with the Magic the Gathering card there, which is the other half of this collab. And then he does, which is something I didn't like about the original, well, not the original black one, but the one before this, is the original came with these, but not the newer one. And that is these symbiote tendrils that actually work as grips for the guns. I was always disappointed the black one didn't come with this, because I do prefer the black one. That's like obviously the main Agent Venom. But as you can see, this one's like pretty much inverted in colors. I was like, well, what if I like just paint this black, and when I get the black one, I can just stick it on? But that won't work. Well, I could always drill a hole in the back. I've done that before. I think my favorite time I ever done that was on the MCU Taskmaster. That damn shield clip broke. I drilled a perfect hole in the back, and that shield just plucked in there perfectly. But the black one does not have a hole in the back that I remember. This one does, as you see there. We'll get a better view in a second. So I'm not opposed to painting these black still, and then somewhere down the line, customizing the normal Anti-Venom. But there's that. It's not shiny at all. It's got a pretty good matte finish. The texture is pretty cool. And as you can see here, there is not hands, but you can see where it would grip guns. So that's pretty cool. Definitely has better accessories than the normal Agent Venom, but yeah, so I'm gonna start with these guns again. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. damn tape. So here we have the 5 guns it comes with, and I don't know, I don't think these are like realistic guns. They pretty much look realistic enough, but also futuristic enough. It's got like a huge, I think that's a magazine. I'm not a gun guy, so sorry, but I mean, it works fine. And 4 of them are the same thing, right? No, I lied. There's technically 3 different guns. So there's this one that does have the longer magazine there. And the sculpt is different too. It's not just the magazine, but as you can see here, they are technically different. The end looks pretty much similar, but the actual guns part itself is different. And then obviously what I believe is the magazine is different. And then there's a third one, and I'm sure we've seen these ones before. I can't tell you where, but I'm certain we've seen these ones before. Because sometimes MCU characters will come with this, and I hate it. I hate it. I think in the past I've cut the tip off here, right there, and it looks more like a normal gun, I think, but whatever, it's comic book stuff. Like I said, I'll probably paint these a gunmetal gray, because they just look a little cheap to me. So we'll work on that in a second in terms of getting them in the symbiote tendrils. And then we got, pardon me while I fight tape in the background here. We got the kind of cool off smoke effect here, and it is green. I don't know how accurate the green blast is to this incarnation of Agent Venom. And then I'll get the actual blast effects off here. And these are not your typical blast effects. It's not like the ones you see coming out of like an Iron Man suit. Man, this is like, sorry guys. It's the downside of how I got stuff going on here. Okay, there we go. Blast effects here. They are also translucent green. However, one is a little bit taller. This one's a much smaller one here. And now that I think about it, I don't know if any of these are new. Like, I know at least one of them has existed before, but I couldn't tell you. Maybe, I don't know. I never really, in my head, I always just assumed that when it came to a smaller blast, there was only one, but it's 2, obviously. I don't know if it's like literally shrunk down, or if it seems like the same sculpt. I don't know how that stuff works, but yeah, there is 2 there. And I want to say I'm more familiar with the smaller one, but I don't know. Could be wrong. And then, oh, you know what? I lied. I think when we were looking at the box, I think I said there was 1 fist, but there is 2. So, getting to it. Bear with me. There we go. So here are the extra hands that come in. Like I said, I think I said there was 1 fist, but here's 2. The whole figure pretty much has a matte finish. It's not super shiny. Kind of the black parts, I'd say, are more shiny. But yeah, it's got the, you know, the typical Venom rectangle on the tops there. And then he does come with the claw-like hands here. And those have the same things there. And they both hinge up and down. A little tight, but there we go. Yeah, see? Boom. Boom. And then, oops. Get him out. I'm gonna go over this card first. I think I'm gonna leave it in here just in case. I think I mentioned in the Spider-Man one, I don't know if these will ever be worth something. They kind of seem like, I don't know, I feel like in the past when there's something like a collab like this that seems like it would be worth something, it ends up not being something, but yeah, I don't know. So that's the card. It's got like a cool metallic look to it, as you can see. I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. If you do, let me know. But, you know, it's cool artwork. On the back, I think this is a completely separate piece of paper on the back because I do see it kind of going over the card. So I don't know what the actual back of the card looks like. So yeah, not for resale. We'll see about that. And then finally we have Agent Anti-Venom. This is Flash, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't know much about Anti-Venom stuff, to be honest. I don't know much about Agent Venom either, but here he is, and this is pretty much the exact same figure we've gotten before in the black suit. Like I said, I don't remember the other one having a hole there, but this one does. And I feel like in a review I saw that was the case, but I don't know. So yeah, pretty much inverted colorway here. Kind of. Like I said, pretty much a matte white finish, super clean. I'm not seeing any, and there's a lot of tiny intricate lines, and they all look phenomenal. So that's cool. You do got black on the shoulder pads here, black on the spider, obviously, as well as the back, and then you do have some black on the hips there, coming down here. And then I say it's kind of inverted because if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but all these tiny lines here on the original one, I'm pretty sure those were white. I could be wrong, but here they are silver, and it's a nice silver. I don't feel like I don't feel the need to go over that at all. So that's good. In terms of other stuff, in terms of customizing on my own here, I probably will go over the belt buckle, fill in the panel line in the middle there. All the buttons on the belt are painted, so that's good. The belt, I don't think, yeah, that's not silver, that's kind of a gray, as well as these straps here. There are belt buckles here, and those are painted silver too. And then there's a gun holster here on this side. It's asymmetrical. Trying to think, I don't see the need, other than just maybe going over buckles. I don't see anything I want to paint. So this might not get anything in terms of the actual figure here. Well, okay. If I really wanted to be a stiffler here, under the shoulder pads here, it's the same texture as the rest of the arm. As you can see, that is not painted. You can't really see them, and it's not necessarily standing out to me. I might go in there and do it. I don't know. You can barely see it, but I don't know. These arms kind of remind me of like Frieza or Dodoria from Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, paint apps, phenomenal. Sculpt work, also phenomenal. You kind of got, so it's pretty much smooth right here on the crotch piece and on the legs up until here. And then you kind of got like a spiky, I'm assuming that's part of the symbiote texture here. You got like this boot cuff here, pretty much smooth boots. Technically, it looks like the boots are technically up to here. And then these are not just painted on, those are indented lines with the silver. And all the black bits are sculpted, those are raised, so that's cool. And then up here, it is kind of musculature, but there is a slight texture to it. It's kind of the same texture down here, minus the spikes. You can kind of see it more on the collar piece there. So that's, I'm assuming, is a little bit more on the symbiote side. The neck and the head are completely smooth. There is some sculpted wrinkles in the brow area, and this black bit is raised and sculpted. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, the black is painted, but I'm pretty sure the white is painted. I don't think that's just the white plastic, because that looks like a completely different sheen of plastic, which is kind of, I don't know, I guess that's, because they could have just cheaped out and just painted literally around the eyes. So that's interesting. Pretty much smooth hands, same texture on the elbow pads and forearms as the boots there. Same Frieza arms there. And then the shoulder pads have the texture and spike to them. So that's paint apps and sculpt for you. So that's cool. Let's see, what else? I guess articulation. So I'm gonna start at the bottom here. Feet can go down that much, which is not a lot. There is this cuff piece here, which I think is a separate piece, but it's not like a soft plastic, so it's not getting out of the way. So as a result, it's not really going up either. Forward facing pin per rocker is only gonna get about there, probably vice versa the other way. So that's not the greatest. There is no boot swivel because the boots kind of go above the knee there, as you can see, but it is double jointed pinless leg, which that's actually crazy with with how bulky it is and the spikes and everything. That is better than a lot of Spider-Man, so that's a pleasant surprise. I'm sure there's an upper thigh cut. Yep, and perfect placement for it, working in that character's design into it. Legs can go back about there, can go forward past 90. It's gonna ride up the curve of the crotch, which is nice, and then it can go out. I'd say that's better than usual there. So I think there is a waist swivel. Nope, I lied. That would have probably made this a little bit better, I think, if there was a waist swivel there. Or at least maybe another hinge. No, the hinge probably wouldn't work. But they could have got away with a waist swivel, I think. But whatever. There is a dumbbell in the upper torso here. Can tilt pretty good. Tilt pretty good. Can go back. Not a whole lot. Can go forward much more. And it does go all the way around. Oh, that's like super loose. I almost felt like I broke it for a second. It's super loose this way. But whatever. It is going to break up the spider if you go a little bit too far either which way. So, and then, yeah, so, and then the shoulders can go around all the way. This shoulder pad is a ring around the peg there, so that will do that just fine. I forgot what I just reviewed where this wasn't working as good as it is here. What was it? The War Machine from the Omega Red 2-pack. Those things just weren't moving, but this one does, and they are softer, so they will kind of get out of the way. They can go up. Let's see, he's bent. I'd say 90. This is still going to stop you, but it is that is a lot of pliability for you there. So upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless arms, which as good as the legs. Yeah, that's about as good as I could ask for. And then they're, like I said, hand swivel. These are the gun hands, so they are hinging this way rather than this way. This cuff comes down at a point here, so that kind of gets in the way if you were to put the other hands on, because those are going to hinge towards it. But again, you could probably swivel and go up if you wanted to. So that's that. The neck seems to be its own thing, so that's not moving. So there's just, it is on a ball peg, which a dumbbell joint in there, which I don't like because he's not going to look up that much. Not a whole lot. Not going to look down that much. Nope. You can go all the way around. And then, yep, this is the one thing with the dumbbells. You do get decent tilt. But, I mean, even if it could go that way and that way, I think he'd be able to look up much better. And I would assume you'd probably be able to look down more if you were to get that underneath the chin. I feel like the disc hinge would be much better still. But, yeah, that's articulation. I guess, what's easier here? Do I put the guns in first? No, I'll put this in first. Let's do that. So I'm assuming, which way does it go here? Okay, yeah, it seems like it wants to go that way. And that looks sick. So let's see. He had, like I said, he has 5 guns. So you could do 4 in here and then 1 in here, or you could have one holstered, have him maybe doing a claw. It's a lot of options here, and options when it comes to, I think, any product, especially action figures, are good. So I'm going to, let's see how I want to configure this. I think I'll put the ones with this longer magazine on the bottom just so they're not going to be poking anything below it. And that went in fine. Oh no, see, this one feels kind of, this one's super loose. Can I get it in there? See, that's... Maybe there's a specific... Let me see the back of the package, because I don't like how loose that feels. Nope, he doesn't have that on the back, so... Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe another one? Different gun, maybe? It's kind of hard to, Okay, well, I guess that works. But it's pointing downwards. That's how I got it in there. Yeah, that's... This one's pointing forward, this one's pointing downwards. Like I said, I don't know if there's a specific configuration here. Let's try this one here. That one's... This is a bit cumbersome, not gonna lie. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna worry about getting it in there for now. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. This is it's a bit cumbersome. I appreciate it's here, but as you can see, this back piece here is not bendy wire. It's not even bendy. It's honestly a much harder plastic than you would think it is. And as a result, he's kind of got, you know, this one's facing that way. This one's facing basically down. This one's facing pretty good. This one's facing decent. So like I said, maybe there's a specific configuration, and maybe I could get it better when I'm not in front of the camera, but I don't know. It's fine, I guess. I will say though, only 2 of them have a grip around it, but also going into the trigger section. Like here, that one pretty much grips it as well as got the finger on the trigger, as well as this one here. But this one here, he's not really, he's just kind of holding it. Maybe this bit here, I could work into the trigger area. And maybe this one here, I could go from the back and pull it through. But as of right now, I'm not going to worry about it too much. It is a little cumbersome, especially behind the camera. And then he does have this other gun, which I think this one will go into position. Let's see here. It goes into the hand fine. Can I get the finger? Yep, there we go. There you go. Holds it fine. Yes, there's that. I wish these tendrils were a little bit better implemented. I feel like they could have been sculpted to grip better. I also feel like it could have been softer. I wish they were bendy wire, to be honest, because he's kind of just like blasting anything. He doesn't necessarily have one specific target. But, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like I said, I'll probably go over some silver here and there. I'm definitely going to repaint the guns. I'm just not a fan of this. It's definitely the like blue, metallic, swirly, twirly. I'd rather it be more realistic looking. And I don't have a whole lot of options in terms of guns, but I think, you know, the more I collect, the more I'll come across. I would much rather give him more realistic guns. But yeah, that's Anti-Venom, Agent Anti-Venom, from the Magic the Gathering collab. Do I recommend this? Kind of. I recommend it in the terms of like when I had a symbiote section in my collection, obviously this guy would make his way there. So if you're really into symbiotes, sure. If you're into the Magic the Gathering, sure. If you're just into Spider-Man, sure. Or if you really want to, like I'm contemplating, if that black one doesn't have a hole, drill a hole, paint these things black. I think I'd much rather this on my black Agent Venom once I reacquire it. So I'd say, yeah, why not? You know, it's Spider-Man related stuff. It's symbiote related stuff. Why not? And that black one was one of my favorites in the collection. So this one doesn't smack as hard, but it's decent. I think that's gonna pretty much be it. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Do you think the tendrils could be implemented better? How do you feel about the way it holds the guns? Do you prefer this one or the black one? And do you also prefer to maybe paint this black and stick it on the other one? Let me know. Let's have a discussion. That's pretty much it. Like, comment, share, hit the notification bell, subscribe. Anything you want to do. Shout out to, I think I'm about to hit 10 subscribers, which is not a lot, but it's a lot to me. So shout out to you guys. I've been posting a lot of shorts because that's the algorithm. Lord likes that. So those get like 3.8K views. And then over on the main part of the channel, these things are like getting like 20 views. So, but that's the name of the game, I guess, you know. I wish more people would maybe click over from the shorts. But again, like I said, the small, brand new YouTube channel. I'm not expecting to be, you know, YouTube famous or anything. So let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you for watching. I got 3 more to open up in the package, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.